This is Sheila Aliens. Today is January 15th, 2016. Apparently there are some big changes on the way with our Earth and the climate and the ocean. We can be expecting some weird times ahead and probably a lot of severe weather in places we've never seen it and opposite weather and things going on where it shouldn't be going on. It's going to be weird because for the first time that I can recall, all around the globe, weird things are washing ashore. Something going on in the ocean that's stirring up debris that's been in there for a long time already because of whatever's brewing out there in the ocean. In Cornwall, England, thousands of bright pink plastic detergent bottles washed up on the beach, about 2,000 of them so far. And there's more out there in the ocean that's going to be coming their way. And most of them are full, so it's making a big mess. So these shipping containers fall off the cargo ships, sink to the bottom of the ocean where they just kind of sit for a while until a storm breaks them open, and that's when all the stuff starts washing ashore. Here's a good example for why I like to read comment sections to things. At least skim it, because you'll find out a lot of information that way. Of course, you got to double check it, but this person says, couldn't this be the cause of the French town in foam, sea foam, this first week of January? See, I haven't heard about that, a French town in foam. Let's go to news, French town foam. Okay. Foam phenomena captured on camera in France. January 2nd, 2016. Wow. This was in Brittany, France last week. So videos are from the Pinmark area and they show sea foam billowing off the ocean and blanketing the streets in the snow-like substance. Sea foam forms when things like dead algae, proteins, and other particles are churned up by rough surf, according to NOAA. So they got a blizzard of sea foam, which is pretty gross because it's algae and nastiness. That's amazing. So that's another one, another odd thing that the ocean's doing right now. So back to England. HP cartridges wash up around UK and Europe after spill. Thousands of Hewlett-Packard printer ink cartridges are believed to be washing up on beaches around Britain and Europe after being lost at sea more than a year ago. The cartridges have been found along UK's south and west coasts, as well as the Irish Republic, France, Portugal, the Azores, and the whatever that is. This is, of course, after the thousands of bright pink plastic detergent bottles washed up on the beaches of Cornwall earlier in the week. So this is all happening right now. So this is all the places where they're finding these ink cartridges all around these coastlines here in the UK and France, Portugal, and the Azores. Cornwall's beaches are getting a lot of trash and garbage right now. Speaking of trash, in December, hundreds of cans of coffee washed ashore in Florida, all over the beach, India Atlantic, Florida, in early December. Here in Los Angeles, we've had our fair share of recent debris washing ashore, what might be Fukushima debris. Swimmers and surfers were advised Friday to stay out of the ocean because of high levels of bacteria, trash, and debris in the water due to this week's series of El Niño storms. This is Manhattan Beach, California. Posted January 8th. They actually issued a health advisory because of this trash. A Canadian Coast Guard hat was found on a beach in Ireland, and it had barnacles all over it, so it's been in the ocean for a long, long time. That was January 2nd. In one of the British Channel Islands called Guernsey, I don't know if I pronounced that right, but the storms are stirring up old oil from the bottom of the ocean, and it's coating the sea life there, and it's causing them problems, of course. Birds are washing up covered in oil, so that's pretty sad. Meanwhile, in Alaska, 8,000 seabirds have been found dead this winter on the shores of Prince William Sound. Biologists don't know why the birds are dying, but unusually warm ocean waters could be to blame. This is a species of bird known as the common murre. And the way that they died, these birds, is that they starved to death. Their stomachs are empty. And just this week on the southern coast of India, 80 whales washed ashore. Most of them died. They tried to put them back out into the water and they would just swim right back up onto the shore. Very strange behavior. And it says the last time such an incident occurred in India was during the El Niño of 1972, which is interesting because that's around the last time the yellow-bellied sea snake was seen here in Southern California. 1973 is the last time that was seen on our shores until recently. 3 of them have washed up since October, but prior to that, none had been seen since 1973. Maybe there's a connection there. And we have drug needles washing onto Santa Cruz beaches lots and lots of drug needles. So I don't know who goes to the ocean and says, hey, let's go shoot up and throw our syringes into the ocean. Or is it just shipping container items? They're talking about it here like they're used drug needles by junkies. So I don't know. And that's another weird thing that's popping up. This is off the southern coast of New Zealand. The seas are red with krill. Posted January 9th. Southern waters are turning red with large swarms of krill. A photographer saw red when he stumbled upon krill washed up on an Otago beach. Waverley resident Paul Van Kempen was bike riding when he came across swarms of crustaceans, often called red lobster krill. Looks like those birds are having a heyday. They're not starving, are they? So those are like little baby lobsters. This photographer who saw them and noticed them says he noticed that they're surprisingly strong swimmers, and he's not sure why some of these krill sat in shallows and died as the tide went out. It's really weird. Look at all those. There's just thousands of them. The whole ocean's red with krill. Red lobster krill. Yummy. That's crazy. The sea is red with lobsters. Okay. Interesting. Some of this might have something to do with what they call the Pacific Ocean blob. It's actually 3 warm blobs in the Pacific Ocean that showed up in 2012 or 2013. I forget which one. But of course, they're calling them mysterious, but I think we can kind of guess where they came from. Fukushima, Japan, earthquake. You know what I'm talking about. Nobody really mentions that, though. The news here doesn't ever really even take a guess that it might be Fukushima. Not as often as they should, and hardly at all that I've seen. You know, it's just something we don't talk about, right? Like the moon. It's kind of weird. So be careful if you're going to the beaches. Gotta say that much at least. And something is gonna happen really bad soon. And I'm not trying to be a doom-tard or anything like that. I'm just saying, look at what the earth is telling us. Something is extremely wrong right now. Keep aware, keep safe. I love you all. Meow.